Hey everybody and welcome back to Igniskidd. Today we'll be taking an in-depth look at the second archetype of this channel and by extension a better version of my first ever video. We're covering the Skittles bag itself, at Ignisters. Ignister is a link climbing archetype with a focus on getting to the Link 6 towers via rival cybers, using as many different color blobs as you can. We'll cover the main deck today and answer the age-old question, how big can an access code really be? Starting out with each of our small blobs, they all do the same thing when they are summoned but in different ways. Their full names are Architype, Picori, Doyon, Doshin, Hiri and Buru, but for your viewing and listening experience I will refer to this pile of Skittles by the representing color. Red, green, blue, etc. There's jokes in there somewhere, but oh well. All small Ignisters on summon either search, dump or add back a card to your hand. Architype, the red one, searches any other color with the ability to banish itself to destroy a monster you control during battle, or rather on attack declaration. Picori, the yellow, searches any ice spell and can boost or reduce another blob to level 4. Green, for Buru, dumps any at Ignister and, if synchroned with, gets its material back onto the field. Purple, for Doyon. He gets an Ignister back from the grave to your hand, and if used as link material, you can also add an ice spell trap that is currently residing in your graveyard. Big Purple, also known as Danmari, is a hand trap sometimes and our usual dump target for Green's effect. Banish him to negate a face-up card, but this only works if we control a rival. Brown, Doshin and Blue, Hiri, both special summon themselves from your hand if you control another at Ignister, and search a fusion, ritual spell, respectively. If you tribute a link monster for Blue's effect though, you can also add Water Leviathan at Ignister, the ritual monster, from your deck to your hand. Now there are two bigger versions with decent effects, Gachiri and Gusari, looking like something out of Pokemon Sword and Shield if you ask me, but both of them have their applications, though Gachiri is the more useful of the two. He lets you negate a face-up Ignister's effect to special summon himself out. Though, how do we get all of these onto the field, you ask? There's too many normal/special summons here to keep track of. Don't worry, compared to Speedroids, the spells actually matter a lot more here, but you are also more dependent on them. This and the small blob's effect make the deck vulnerable to Droll, Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre, so in this format, you better run Cross out. Island, which is searchable by Yellow and the Link 1, Dark Infant, can special summon any element of level 4 or lower Skittle once per turn, if you control no monsters in the main monster zone. It also sets itself back on the field at the low cost of a banished at Ignister. We look at the application of the field spell in the combo video, so make sure to stick around by hitting the giant red button down there and the adjacent bell. Now onto the other spells in Archetype. I Meet You, Idleborn, Eye Contact and Fighting Spirit. All of them act as extenders, recovery plays, starters or battle tricks. I Meet You is in essence another starter. Reveal a Cybers with 2300 attack exactly and add the corresponding elements Ignister to your hand. Reveal a Fire, add Architype, reveal a Light, add Picori, reveal a Dark, add Doyon and so on. Keep in mind the 2300 burn damage though if you don't summon the revealed unit this turn. Idle Reborn and Fighting Spirit are searchable monster reborns with secondary effects that help you keep your monsters in play or get back other ice spells from grave. Contact, on the other hand, is essentially a free draw 3. It's a win more card that can help you fix your hand. That's basically it for that card. I Love Fusion and Ice Ritual are the respective third and fourth special summon method for obviously Fusion and Ritual respectively. They facilitate the summoning of Earth Golem and Water Leviathan. If you use an Ignister as fusion material, you can also use a link monster your opponent controls when using I Love Fusion. Ritual has a similar effect, but you can banish monsters needed from your graveyard for it. The last two spells here are Tie Strike and UNI. Strike lets you do damage calculation if your monster battles the monster of an opponent. Your monster's attack becomes the attack of your opponent's monster during damage calculation only. If any monster is destroyed as a result of that battle, the controller takes damage equal to its attack. However, at the end of the damage step, you can banish this card from your grave if an adding is the monster you control would be destroyed. Instead, you can activate this once per turn though, so pair this with Fighting Spirits to burn your opponent to death if needed. Yes, suddenly we have become Mystic Mine Burn, and this is way more relevant than you ever thought. Because we can't play through Mystic Mine, most lists actually play Mystic Mine in their deck, just to cross out it. Okay, moving on. UNI is a bit less complicated. Depending on what element of Cybers with 2300 Royal Legion attack you special summon from your extra deck, you can activate one of the following effects. If you special an Earth or Water, half the attack of any face-up monster for the rest of this turn. Wind or Light, negate the effect of a face-up card for this turn. Fire or Dark, you can special level 1 token with no attack or defense. You can use each effect once per turn. That's it for UNI. It's actually pretty handy, so yeah, I would look into it, but I don't think any really competitive list actually plays it. It's pretty gimmicky. Before we head on to the traps, leave a sub again by linking off the subscribe button from a red one to a grey one, and leave a comment on what list I should run in Master Duel for this archetype. Thank you in advance. Trap-wise, this archetype is also stacked. Sorta, though most of them don't see any play, due to all of them, except Show, being continuous traps. IQ can only be activated if you control an Ignister, and once per turn during the standby phase you must tribute a link monster or destroy this card. Whilst active, either player can only link summon once. I Challenge You reduces the attack of monsters your opponent controls by 100 per card you control, and while your Ignister monsters battle, your opponent can't activate any card effects until the damage step is over. If an Ignister you control is destroyed by battle, special 2300 Cybers from your grave for free. Yeah, this is my best DP Yu-Gi-Oh impression. This is also a once per turn. Handy, sure, but not really that useful. Eyeshadow works in a similar way, though still completely different. Target an Ignister you control. It gains 800, and your opponent's monsters must attack that target if able. If Eyeshadow gets destroyed whilst face up by your opponent's card effect and is now in the graveyard or banished, you can draw a card. Still a battle trap, but a Jar of Greed also. Eyeshow, being the only non-continuous, can only be activated if you control a link 3 or higher monster. If your opponent declares an attack special from your extra deck, any number of non-link Cybers monster with 2300 attack, whose combined attack is less or equal the attacking monster's attack points. Then end the battle phase. Pretty handy if you haven't made Windpeckers or Solar Light Dragon in this duel, also a cool battle trap. Now, reaching the end of the video, I can finally slow down, because this is all for the main deck cards in Archetype. Even though the traps see almost no play, they are pretty fun to resolve. We'll look at the list for Master Duel after I cover the extra deck in the next video, so stick around for that and leave your suggestions in the comments down below. I will be what I think is running a very standard list. I've been having some success with it this far, so I guess expect a 11 win streak video soon. That's all from me, and see you next time when I fix my schedule a bit more, open the Discord server, and tell you all about the extra deck. See ya!